David Park got cancer the exact moment his startup hit $80,000 monthly revenue. While most entrepreneurs would panic and sell, he made a decision that turned a potential $3 million exit into $25 million. The crazy part is that it all started with an AI generating one line: "Nothing is darker than a butthole." This ridiculous fart joke would spark a decade-long journey of brutal failures, desperate cold calls, and sleeping in his parents' basement. But when life hit him with the ultimate test, David's response revealed the one thing that separates millionaires from everyone else, and I'm going to show you exactly what that is. David dropped out of college with his parents' $20,000 education fund and moved back to his childhood bedroom. For the next decade, he failed at 9 different startups. 9. Every morning, he'd cold call agencies for 8 hours straight, 99% rejection rate. His mom would listen from the next room as strangers hung up on him, over and over. While other Korean moms bragged about their kids being Amazon engineers or Stanford graduates, David's mom would quietly say, "My son's working on a startup." The shame was crushing. But then GPT-2 dropped that absurd butthole line, and David realized something huge. AI wasn't just smart, it could be genuinely funny and profound at the same time. That's when Jenny AI was born. Here's what you need to understand though. Having a great idea means absolutely nothing if you can't make money from it. David and his co-founder Henry built Jenny as an AI writing assistant. Revenue hit $2,000 a month and completely stalled. They were stuck at this ceiling for months, eating instant noodles, asking mom for Chipotle money. Most entrepreneurs would have given up. David did something different. Instead of asking users what they loved about Jenny, he asked what they hated, what they loved about competitors. He dug deep into their actual workflows and collaborated on real projects with them. That's when he discovered the game-changing insight. People didn't want another AI tool. They wanted a friendly AI-assisted writing journey. Revenue started climbing, but David was still broke, still living off his parents' generosity. Desperate for funding, he started a random podcast sharing his startup failures. Almost nobody watched it. Except one person, a scout for legendary investor Jason Calacanis. That scout got David a $100,000 check. For someone begging mom for meal money, this felt like winning the lottery. But here's the genius move that most entrepreneurs miss. Instead of celebrating and burning through cash, David and Henry immediately flew to Malaysia. Why? To force themselves into the lowest possible burn rate and extend their runway. Malaysia was lonely but productive, and that's when lightning struck. A user named Zay Khan posted a Twitter thread that went viral, featuring Jenny AI. David watched his user count explode in real time. Every refresh brought tens of new users. Monthly revenue jumped from $2,000 to $10,000 overnight. They doubled down hard, hired a friend to run TikTok and Instagram Reels, hit a second wave of virality. Revenue climbed to $80,000 monthly, nearly $1 million annually. David finally felt like he was winning. Then doctors found cancer in his throat. The timing was absolutely brutal, dreams and nightmares happening simultaneously. But here's what blew my mind about David's response. His biggest fear wasn't dying, it was losing his voice and his ability to work. The surgery got delayed because of a fever, so he's sitting there for days knowing he might never sound the same again. Right before surgery, he almost ran. Thyroid cancer grows slowly. He could have just left. But there was a profound quote on the ceiling that said, "Leave everything to God." So he stayed. Surgery went perfectly, voice came back completely. But the cancer experience revealed something terrifying about his business. Jenny was totally dependent on him. No real systems, no product market fit. If something happened to David, everything would collapse. He had 2 choices: sell the company for a few $1,000,000 or double down and build something that could survive without him. Most people would have taken the money and run. David chose the harder path. While recovering from cancer, he systematized everything. Started his own TikTok account, tested different content formats until he found one that worked, then scaled it across multiple creators with baseline salaries plus performance bonuses. He turned his biggest weakness into his competitive advantage. 6 months after his cancer diagnosis, companies were offering him $3 million to sell Jenny. He said no. Today, Jenny AI generates over $3 million in annual revenue, with a valuation between $10 and $30 million. David spent a decade failing, living in his parents' basement, getting rejected thousands of times. But when life threw him the ultimate curveball, he didn't panic. He got systematic. That's the difference between people who build million-dollar companies and people who just dream about it. When everyone else would sell and run, real entrepreneurs double down and build something that lasts. David proved that persistence isn't just important, sometimes it's literally worth $25 million.